Picture this: a single stone block longer than a bus, heavier than a fully loaded jumbo jet, cut with laser-like precision and placed perfectly, thousands of years before cranes, steel cables, or even the wheel were invented. That block isn't science fiction, it's real, and it's sitting in the foundation of an ancient temple in Lebanon. Across our planet lie 7 ancient structures so advanced, so impossibly precise, that they seem to break the rules of human history. Built by people who supposedly had only stone tools and muscle power, these sites continue to baffle archaeologists and engineers alike. Today we're diving deep into 7 of the most mysterious ones. By the end, you might start wondering, how much of our past have we completely misunderstood? Let's begin at the very dawn of what we call civilization. Segment 1, Göbekli Tepe, Turkey. High on a windswept hill in southeastern Turkey sits Göbekli Tepe, Potbelly Hill, a site that has forced historians to rewrite the story of humanity. Discovered in the 1990s and excavated starting in 1995 under German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt, this 11,500-year-old complex consists of at least 20 circular stone enclosures. Inside them stand dozens of massive T-shaped limestone pillars, some reaching 18 feet tall and weighing up to 8 to 10 tons each. The largest enclosure measures about 65 feet across. These pillars are carved with hauntingly detailed reliefs: foxes, scorpions, lions, vultures, and abstract human-like arms and belts. No faces, just eerie, almost watchful figures. What makes Göbekli Tepe so impressive is the timing. It was built around 9,600 BCE by hunter-gatherers, long before agriculture, pottery, or permanent villages. This was the end of the last ice age. People were still nomadic, chasing wild game. Yet they somehow organized enough labor to quarry, carve, transport, and erect these megaliths, then deliberately buried the entire complex around 8,000 BCE for reasons we still don't understand. Scientists acknowledge it as the world's oldest known monumental architecture, predating Stonehenge by 6,000 years, but they still don't fully understand how a scattered group of foragers coordinated such a massive project, or why they poured so much effort into what appears to be a ritual center rather than a settlement. If that wasn't surprising enough, it gets even stranger when we travel thousands of miles south to the Andes. Segment 2, Sacsayhuamán, Peru. Perched on a hill overlooking the former Inca capital of Cusco lies Sacsayhuamán, a sprawling fortress temple complex whose name means royal eagle or satisfied falcon. Construction is traditionally attributed to the Inca in the 15th century, though some stones may be older. The most astonishing feature is the main zigzag defensive wall, built from enormous limestone boulders. Some blocks weigh between 90 and 200 tons, measuring up to 12 feet wide and over 20 feet long in places. These irregular, multi-angled stones fit together like a three-dimensional jigsaw puzzle, bulging, curved, and interlocking with such precision that not even a razor blade or a sheet of paper can slide between most joints. No mortar was used. The walls lean slightly inward and have survived devastating earthquakes that flattened Spanish colonial buildings nearby. Engineers today admit that shaping and fitting stones this large and irregular would be extremely difficult, even with modern laser-guided tools and heavy machinery. The Inca supposedly had no iron tools, no wheels, and no draft animals strong enough for such loads. Yet the precision is unmatched in the Americas. How did they quarry these giants from distant sites, haul them up steep mountain slopes, and achieve earthquake-proof joints that have lasted centuries? Was this pure Inca brilliance? Or did they inherit techniques from an even older culture? But it gets even stranger when we reach a site where the stones look like they were machined. Segment 3, Puma Punku, Bolivia. At 12,500 feet in the Bolivian highlands near Lake Titicaca lie the shattered remains of Puma Punku, part of the larger Tiwanaku complex. Construction is dated by mainstream archaeology to roughly 536 to 600 CE, though some researchers argue the stones could be older. The site features massive red sandstone and andesite blocks. One enormous sandstone slab measures about 26 feet long, 17 feet wide, and over 3 feet thick, weighing an estimated 131 tons. But it's the andesite pieces that truly shock. These hard volcanic stones were cut into H-shaped blocks and other geometric forms with perfectly flat surfaces, razor-sharp right angles, and intricate grooves and drill holes. The uniformity suggests possible prefabrication, like ancient modular construction. Some surfaces are so smooth and precise that modern machinists say replicating them by hand with stone tools would be nearly impossible. Andesite is extremely tough. Ancient builders are said to have used only stone hammers, copper chisels, and abrasive sand, yet the tolerances are measured in millimeters, with interlocking surfaces that fit together seamlessly. No one can explain exactly how they achieved this level of industrial precision at such high altitude, without wheels or advanced metallurgy. Why build something so sophisticated only to have it violently destroyed or abandoned? What kind of cataclysm scattered these precision-cut blocks? If Puma Punku feels like lost high technology, wait until you descend into the earth itself. Segment 4. Derinkuyu. Underground City, Turkey. Beneath the fairy chimney landscape of Cappadocia in central Turkey hides one of the most extraordinary engineering feats ever discovered, Derinkuyu, an ancient multi-level underground city. This vast complex descends 18 levels, reaching a verified depth of about 280 feet, 85 meters. It could comfortably house up to 20,000 people along with livestock, complete with living quarters, stables, wine and oil presses, schools, a church, storage rooms for months of food, and even a sophisticated well system. The most impressive feature is the ventilation network, dozens of vertical shafts that pull fresh air down to the deepest levels while safely venting smoke. Massive rolling stone doors, some weighing half a ton, could seal off entire sections in seconds, protecting inhabitants from invaders. Narrow corridors forced attackers to move single file and bent over, making them easy targets. Construction likely began with the Phrygians around the 8th to 7th century BCE and was expanded over centuries by later groups including early Christians. Carving out millions of cubic feet of soft volcanic tuff by hand while maintaining structural stability and perfect airflow across 18 levels is an astonishing achievement. Scientists still don't fully understand why such an enormous hidden metropolis was necessary. Who needed this level of protection and for how long? And why build something so elaborate when natural caves could have served as basic shelters? If hiding an entire city underground feels extreme, imagine moving stones heavier than modern aircraft for a single foundation. Segment 5. Baalbek Trilithon, Lebanon. In Lebanon's Bekaa Valley stands the ancient temple complex of Baalbek, once known as Heliopolis. While the visible Roman temples are impressive, the real mystery lies in the massive foundation platform beneath them. The famous Trilithon consists of 3 colossal limestone blocks, each roughly 62 feet long, 14 feet high, and 12 feet thick. Every single one weighs an estimated 750 to 800 tons, heavier than a loaded Boeing 747. Nearby in the quarry sits the unfinished Stone of the Pregnant Woman, estimated at around 1,000 tons, with even larger blocks possibly exceeding 1,500 tons discovered in recent years. These megaliths were precisely shaped and moved nearly half a mile, then lifted or slid into place with millimeter accuracy. Roman engineers were masters of construction, but even they usually worked with far smaller blocks. Modern heavy-lift cranes would struggle with loads this size without extensive infrastructure. No one can explain exactly how ancient builders transported and positioned these behemoths without breaking them or the ground beneath. Why expend superhuman effort on such oversized foundation stones when smaller blocks would have supported the temple just fine? The scale is staggering, but now imagine an entire city built on water, using stones moved by sorcery, according to local legend. Segment 6. Nan Madol, Micronesia. Off the southeast coast of Pohnpei Island in the remote Pacific Ocean lies Nan Madol, a haunting ceremonial complex often called the Venice of the Pacific. Built between roughly 1180 and 1700 CE by the Sodelur dynasty, It consists of 92 artificial islets connected by a network of canals, all constructed atop a shallow coral reef. The structures are made from massive basalt columns, naturally hexagonal or pentagonal logs, some weighing up to 50 tons or more. The total weight of stone moved is estimated at over 750,000 tons. Walls rise as high as 25 feet, stacked in a crisscross log cabin style without mortar. The complex includes royal residences, tombs, and ritual areas covering about 200 acres. Local legends say twin sorcerers named Olosipa and Olosopa used magic, even a flying dragon, to levitate the heavy stones into place. Archaeologists confirm the basalt came from quarries on the opposite side of the island. No wheels, no metal tools, no large boats capable of carrying 50-ton loads easily. Yet for centuries, islanders ferried and stacked hundreds of thousands of tons of rock across lagoons and reefs. How did they do it? And what was the true purpose of this enormous, labor-intensive floating city that was eventually abandoned? One last site takes the mystery even deeper, literally underwater. Segment 7, Yonaguni Monument, Japan. Just off the coast of Yonaguni Island in southern Japan, 25 to 85 feet beneath the waves, divers discovered a massive underwater formation known as the Yonaguni Monument. First spotted in 1986 to 87, the structure features flat terraces, sharp 90-degree angles, straight channels, stair-like steps, and what look like platforms and roads carved into the sandstone. The main formation stretches over 150 meters long and rises in distinct levels, resembling a stepped pyramid or ceremonial complex. Marine geologist Masaki Kimura has argued that tool marks, symmetrical design, and nearby possible structures indicate human workmanship. The monument is thought to date back at least 10,000 years, to the end of the last ice age when sea levels were much lower, and this area may have been dry land. Skeptics, including geologist Robert Schoch, believe it's a natural formation shaped by earthquakes, erosion, and the unique bedding planes of the sandstone. Yet the clean lines and right angles continue to spark intense debate. If it is man-made, who built this enormous complex before rising seas submerged it? And what happened to that civilization? If it's natural, why does it look so deliberately architectural? From the ritual pillars of Göbekli Tepe raised by Ice Age hunter-gatherers, to the earthquake-defying puzzle walls of Sacsayhuamán, the machine-like precision of Puma Punku, the hidden metropolis of Derinkuyu, the 1,000-ton giants of Baalbek, the canal city of Nan Madol built on coral, and the submerged enigma of Yonaguni, we've traveled through 7 ancient structures that challenge everything we thought we knew about human capability and the timeline of civilization. Each one pushes the limits of what Stone Age or pre-industrial societies should have been able to achieve. Each leaves scientists with more questions than definitive answers. These sites remind us that history is not a simple upward march of progress. It is layered, interrupted, and full of forgotten genius. Perhaps our ancestors possessed knowledge and techniques we have lost. Or perhaps we are only now beginning to glimpse the true depth and richness of humanity's long story. What do you think? Were these built with skills we've forgotten? Or is there something even more extraordinary waiting to be discovered beneath the surface of our past? Let me know your theories in the comments below. If you want deeper dives into more ancient mysteries, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. The past still holds secrets, and we're only scratching the surface. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And with strong visual montage of all 7 sites, channel branding, related video cards, and subscribe prompt. This script is cinematic, fact-grounded yet mystery-forward, escalates in intensity, uses smooth transitions, includes natural curiosity questions, and lands on a reflective, thought-provoking close design for high engagement and shares in the mysterious history niche.